Hey everybody, I am Jarrett Ross, the GeneaVlogger, and welcome back to another Professional Genealogist Reacts. In today's video, I will be reacting to AncestryDNA results, my mom's versus my sister's versus my 23andMe results plus GedMatch. And this is by Alison Ryce. I did a reaction of her first video when she received her 23andMe results, and that video was from 2016. This video is from January 16th, 2016. So I think it's 10 months later exactly. So, just about a year. And she does say my 23andMe results. So I'm very interested because I talked about this in the video I reacted to her. If her results have changed, because these results will change over time. Or the genetic admixture results. Your genetic matches will not change over time unless they either leave the database or new people join. But the amount of DNA that you share with your genetic matches will not change. Caveat, if you are testing on different sites, it will be different, but that's a whole nother thing to go into. But anyway, I imagine this is going to be very interesting, especially interesting to see her results versus her sister versus her mother. In the video that I reacted to before, she had very trace amounts of South Asian, and so I doubt that it's going to be coming from her mother's side based on what she had said, saying that she believed her father had Asian ancestry. But if her sister also has Asian ancestry, she may have more Asian ancestry, and that may give a better hint of if they truly do have it. Or she may not have any, and that result may have just been noise. But let's go ahead, jump right into it. Well, actually, before we jump into it, why don't you give this video a thumbs up? Really helps me out, especially boosting the video in the algorithm. And be sure to subscribe and click that bell so that you get notifications for new videos. But now, let's go ahead and jump right in, and hopefully this will be good.
I'm here with my mom Marcella and my sister Tiffany. In past videos, you've seen my results and my sister Tiffany's results as well. Today we're going to reveal our mom's DNA results. Mom is from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and so are her parents, and to our knowledge, her 4 grandparents are from St. Vincent as well. We are so excited to see her results. Okay, so Mom, do you want to guess what your results are before we take a look at it?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, what do you think will be your full makeup?
Well, I know my grandfather was very dark skinned. My mother was also very dark skinned, and I'm also very dark skinned. My grandmother had a light complexion, and she had soft, curly hair. So I guess my makeup would be like between 94 to 98% African.
Okay, Tiffany, you want to guess?
Well, we got our results, and you were like, what, 91%?
Yeah.
You was 91%, I was 88% African.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking she'll be like 93%. I think she'll be like a 93% African.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she was like 93 or higher. So we haven't seen her results yet, so we are as excited as you are.
I'm honestly, I agree with that. I think it's going to be over 90%, especially because both of them had such high, both of the sisters had such high amounts of African ancestry. I know a lot of this is based on the fact that their mom has very dark skin. But as I've said in other videos, you can't always rely on that. The way that you look doesn't necessarily represent your ancestry. So,
to see her results. So
yeah, let's see.
Get to the results. Okay. Oh, okay. Mommy.
Yeah, 95%.
I said that.
Wow, Mom, you're 95% African. Okay, let's go through her results. 41% is from Ivory Coast, Ghana. 18% Nigeria. 15% Mali. 13% Cameroon, Congo. Yes. Now, oh my gosh, this is very exciting because when we did my 23andMe test and they did our maternal ancestry, that was where they said that our maternal ancestry came from Central Africa. So it's right around this area is where the roots go all the way back. 4% Benin Togo, 2% Africa Southeastern Bantu, and 2% Africa South Central.
I know it's only really 2%, but I know that it's rarer for African Americans. And when I say African Americans in this sense, I'm not just saying the United States. I guess I'm saying anyone with African ancestry who is living in the American continent. So the Caribbean, even down into Central America and South America. Basically, there weren't as many slaves who came from East Africa as there were from West Africa. So it's a little bit rarer to get that kind of a reading.
Hunter-gatherers. Mommy, you are 4% European. You are 4% European. Wow. 3% Europe East. Okay. 1% Scandinavia.
Okay, mommy.
And less than 1% British. No, British. Less than 1% British. So most of our British ancestry came from daddy.
From daddy.
Wow. Okay. Well, you're British and Irish. You have 0 Irish, so all that Irish came from daddy, from daddy's side. So let's go to West Asia. You're less than 1% Caucasus, so that's Turkey, Iran, in that.
Yeah. And one thing you notice with Ancestry, I constantly say trace results. Look, trace regions ? And I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that if you're on Ancestry and you see that question mark, if you hover your mouse over it, it will have a little pop up that will kind of go into a little bit of information about trace regions and how to interpret them. So under 1% of DNA, it's trace. So it could be noise, could be could be the truth. It might be in the Ancestry. But until you do the genealogy research, you can't say 100% for sure that it proves it.
That area. So that area. There's no Southeast Asian in that area. That did show up. That did show up in my 23andMe results. So I'm guessing that.
Well, no, she got South Asian, not Southeast Asian. I don't think she got Southeast Asian, did she? I thought she had South Asian. Because South Asian would be India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Afghanistan, and then Southeast Asia, which is pretty close there. You're looking at more China, Thailand, Korea, places like that. So I'm pretty sure it was South Asian. I might be wrong.
That Asian side came from daddy. Okay. So basically, you mentioned your grandmother. We believe that there's so many different ethnic groups in Africa that a lot of times when we have certain facial features, we think that it came from outside of Africa. But I'm guessing that our great-grandmother, your grandmother, those features that you were mentioned before, it came from a certain part of Africa.
When you have features that is not stereotypically West African, sometimes we automatically think it's outside of Africa. Africa is a continent, not a country, and a lot of times we have to remind ourselves that there are many different people. It's very diverse in Africa. So you may have features and you might think it's from like an outside place, but no, it's just a different part of Africa.
Yeah. So to recap, mommy's 95%.
Okay, so this is interesting. So Asia South, and then she had 0.1% Southeast Asian Native American, and that's such a trace result. And her sister didn't get it, her mom didn't get it. We'll have to see when her dad does the DNA test. If she is 0.1%, if it is truly a real deep ancestral line that there's some sort of Southeast Asian, then her father may have a little bit higher of a read with it, maybe 0.2%, 0.3%. You still can't really make any conclusions from that. But there is also the possibility her dad may end up having, 2 or 3% or something like that. And, as well, still trace results, but you are looking into the more realistic sort of reading, especially being that his daughter also has it too. But yeah, there's a lot with these admixture tests is really what it comes down to. You can't just read them and take it as complete fact. They're estimations based on scientific research. Yeah.
4% African, 4% European, and less than 1% West Asia.
You're pretty cut and dry.
Yes.
Okay, so now we're going to show you Mom's GedMatch results compared to right next to Tiffany's results and my results as well.
All right, so GedMatch. Now, when you're doing GedMatch, there are, and I'm looking at this trying to figure out which one they've done. There are multiple different tests that you can do on GedMatch for the admixture test. The way that I like to think of it, it's almost kind of like a pick your own ancestry sort of thing. Not exactly, but basically, each one has a different basis for the algorithm, and so they use different population groups, and it's basically the same thing as testing at different companies, except that you can choose which admixture test to do based on what you know about your ancestry. So from what it looks like here, they were using some of the what they call ancestry calculators, the admixture calculators that focus on Africa. So you can actually, I'm reading up here in the top part, I'm actually going to put my mouse over. It says this calculator focuses primarily on Africa, particularly East Africa, West Asia, and Europe. This is very interesting because they all mostly have West African. So, you know, if they were to do a different test, it'd be interesting to see what kind of breakdown that gives you. In this, it looks like they basically give a very vague view of West Africa, just West Africa, big chunk of it. Whereas if you see, you know, different areas within East Africa, that they're kind of breaking down further. So that unfortunately cut off in the middle of me talking about this. But as I was saying in these results, it looks like they chose a test that is geared towards more East African. And then it also says West Asian and Europe. And so it may have been interesting for them to go for a few different other ones. I think in total on GedMatch, there's like 30, 40, maybe even 50 different admixtures that you can choose. And they can be helpful. You know, that's not to say that these aren't helpful, but a lot of them are outdated. In fact, the main one that people use for Jewish admixture, the person who created it made a post, and I'll have to try to find it, where he basically said, yeah, anyone who's still using that, don't take those results in any sort of serious way, because I haven't worked on that in the longest time, and it's probably no longer reliable. So, you know, some of these may have different issues with it. You may want to read into the backgrounds on these. A lot of these you'll find, you know, the name of the person who made it. So here you can actually see Abdulali Warsam and his email. So if you were to, you know, if you wanted to use this or get more information or have comments, you could actually talk to the person who created the algorithms for this. So it is interesting to see the difference of result between her mom, and her sister. Still fairly, as far as I can tell, it's still fairly similar to what they were, you know, getting before. Um, you know, interestingly enough, her mom and her sister are getting the South Indian reading, but Alison is not. Um, but she is getting the Mediterranean reading, and her sister's getting the Mediterranean reading at a higher amount than their mom. Um, so yeah, I mean, but like I said, you know, there's only so much you can take out of these admixtures, and you know, going to GedMatch, you're just getting somebody else's hypothesis, basically. You know, that's really the yeah, that's a good way to put it. Basically, the difference between each website, you know, Family Tree DNA, 23andMe, Ancestry.com, MyHeritage DNA, and then going to GedMatch, or even doing, you know, Living DNA, or you know, there's a whole bunch of other ones. Not a lot of those outside of what I said are not very trustable. DNA Land, that's another one that's kind of on the higher end of the list. You know, you're just getting different opinions when you go to each different site. So that's really what it comes down to.
So now that we know Mommy's results, we're going to look at her DNA relatives to see what relatives, what matches she has. So now we pulled up Mommy's.
Okay, so yeah, parent, child. Okay, those are probably her kid. Yeah, let's
DNA
see.
relatives. Mommy, you have 22 pages of people that you're related to, DNA-wise. Wow. 22 pages.
The first one that's up is Ronald Rice. That is immediate family member, possible range, parent, child. Who's that?
My son.
I don't know him.
That's my son.
That is my brother. Yes, Ronald Rice. And then right under that is Tiffany Rice. That is me.
That's my daughter.
Parent, child. So you are my mom. You weren't lying to me after all.
When I got my DNA results back and then I got my parents' results back, I called them both and I was like, guess what? You are my parents. I love that they did the same thing.
It's official. Oh, wow. Okay, so here's the wonderful thing. Because Mommy took the Ancestry DNA test, we saw one person that related to us on Tiffany's side, and now that person shows up on Mom's DNA relative. So now we know for a fact that that person is related to us on Mommy's side of the family and not Daddy's side. And that's going to help us a whole lot with our family tree research.
Yeah, everything my mom has, well, I have to because I got it from her. Yeah. And it's really cool to see how close it is in range. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of weird because it's like the older I get, the more I look like her. So it's like, oh, I'm taking your DNA.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, my European results. I have a lot more diversity there as well. Great Britain was the top of my list. That's the bottom of my mom's list. She's less than 1%. I'm 3% of that. Scandinavian, I got that from her.
Well, you got 1% from Mommy and 1% probably for Daddy because you got 2%.
Ireland is completely from my father. In the comment section of the previous video my sister and I did, people were asking, who do you think is older? Well, my sister is child number 3 out of 5, and I am child 5 out of 5, so she is older.
I would have guessed that.
How do you feel about seeing your results today?
I'm so excited in knowing the truth of my ancestry. I'm so happy.
I'm happy that I was able to see your results too.
I wonder if she's
cool
done any
like,
video about her actual
we
family tree
related,
research.
It's really cool seeing it on paper like this. You know, it's really a blessing.
So we're 2 out of Mom and Dad's 5 children. So hopefully we'll be able to test more family members so that you'll be able to see those results.
Well, they've already got the brother.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let us know if you did do your DNA test. Which company did you go with? And let us know what your results are in the comment section. Also, please subscribe so you can see more DNA results for more of my family members. Thanks so much for watching, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Okay. We'll stop it at the bloopers. It was very cool to see the comparison of her results with her mom's results and her sister's results. Unfortunately, it didn't seem that the 23andMe results had updated since she had done her previous video, which I was hoping for. Maybe when she does them with her dad, they will. Although I will say that it doesn't show her logging on, so it is also possible that the results may have changed by that point, but she just hadn't seen them. I don't know. We'll have to see with her dad's results if she does the same comparison. It'll be interesting to see that difference between her dad and her, though. Just because she has all of these little trace results that her mom doesn't have, but her sister does have, like the South Asian. So, could that be coming from the dad? Maybe. Could it be some noise? Maybe. But testing the dad and looking further, that's the way to find out. And then obviously doing the family tree, which from all of her videos, it seems that she has not only been doing family tree or building her family tree, but this is a video from 2017 and she said she'd started in 2009. So she's probably kind of a little bit of a genealogy nerd like most of us watching these videos. Well, thank you so much for checking out this video and sticking around till the end. I really appreciate it. If you did enjoy, please be sure to click that thumbs up. It really does help me out and boost me in the algorithm. And as well, if you want to subscribe, all you have to do is click right about here. It's completely free to do so. And you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at GeneaVlogger. I am the GeneaVlogger. I will see you in my next video.